And what's going on, guys? Kale here, coming at you with another video. Those of you new to the channel, I am an in-game player with 4 accounts. Yes, that's 4 accounts, which also probably speaks to my mental stability. But anyway, today we are actually on the big account, which is Vagar. This is my main account. It's the account I've had almost since launch. So we're talking, I think we're actually almost up to 5 years now, which is pretty crazy in itself. But today, fairly quick video, nothing too long, but I did want to talk about DeathSeed and the Mutant raid lanes. Mainly because on my mains alliance, we are getting ready to kind of start pushing and push content again for us and Doom 3.4, and I just wanted to go over the mutant nodes in particular. So the mutant nodes have gotten a lot easier in Doom 3.4. I would imagine they are probably comparable in Doom 3.5 as well, and this is in large part due to the DeathSeed team. So one of the unique things about DeathSeed, kind of very similar to Infinity Watch, is that kind of striker and skirmisher combo. So basically, Beast is going to assist on everyone's turn. So basically, having them all as strikers is, maximizes your damage. With Magneto, you're going to get extension of debuffs. Archangel over here, you're basically going to be putting out lots of bleeds, and basically this team kind of like crazy debuffs the enemies, and it really just kind of nukes them down. I do have my DeathSeed pretty fairly well developed. However, when I kind of started doing the raids with them, back when Archangel was only 3 yellow stars, the team did still really phenomenal, and honestly, I think you could maybe even get away with level 85, and then, depending on your gear levels, either gear 15 or gear 16. T4s, now some of them I've had kind of like already T4'd since like prior to this team actually kind of getting the rework, and again, a lot of this comes from how old of an account Vagar is, and so like characters like Psylocke, she was built up back when, at least with T4s, she was built up back with Uncanny X-Men, like OG Uncanny. Same thing with Magneto. Magneto is actually pretty built with Brotherhood, both 1.0 and 2.0. But anyway, I don't really want to talk too much T4s. There are obviously plenty of infographics out there. However, I haven't seen as many playthroughs in the actual nodes. So want to go in and just kind of look at them real quick and, kind of talk about a couple things. So these first 2 nodes in particular were quite challenging, either with the Axemen or even kind of like a Axe Uncanny combo. These nodes are just really rough, and now with the DeathSeed team, it really just kind of makes it a walk in the park. And I don't necessarily know that placement is super important with this team, or at least I haven't noticed any, if a certain character's here, it causes an issue. There's not any passives or anything where it's like the adjacent ally gets XYZ. So this is the way I have them set up. Really no rhyme or reason, but let's go into this first node. And this first node it's a lot easier than it was, and the second node in particular is like miles and miles easier. And then the third node is also really simple as well. There is kind of a little bit of a kill order that I think needs to be followed for that node. But anyway, we'll get to that when we get there. So this node, first and foremost, you basically just start off with the Magneto ultimate, you blind everyone, you see the Beast assist there, and the kind of cool thing about when Beast assists Magneto is Magneto's basic is actually going to extend debuffs. So you'll see here, he's actually got blind for 2 turns now. So what I like to do here, so no one is cloned, if you use Archangel's ultimate, you will knock the taunt off. For slightly weaker characters, Archangel will actually one-shot them, and you'll see that kind of later on. I'd like to get an ability block out pretty early on Mr. Sinister, that way there are no clones going. And then here, we are probably going to get stuck behind Strife's taunt. It's not really that big of a deal. You're seeing here just from like the retaliations or the counters that all these debuffs are now on Negasonic. I do like to kind of keep up my targets with Mr. Sinister, and I do the ultimate here basically because I want those traumas, because if Phyla Vel goes and she does her special, I don't want those traumas removed, and that basically just, kind of keeps them on there. So we are stuck behind the Strife taunt now. We took all of the debuffs off of Nemesis, put them on Strife. You'll also notice Psylocke's passive is proccing fairly regularly, so on top of the blinds that the enemy has, you're also going to have those evasions from Psylocke. Here, I'm just going to actually basic and kind of extend those debuffs. I'm not really looking to ability block anyone at the moment. Again, kind of same thing. I'm going to pop off with Archangel's special here, just a little AoE damage. Got the kill there. You noticed that Archangel's passive procced, and he basically kind of has a very similar mechanic to Deathpool, where when a character dies, he is going to then, I believe he attacks like the weakest enemy. Now I'm going to actually, let's see, who do we got here? Let's go in on Moondragon. No particular reason why. I just don't think they've actually fixed Nemesis' special, where if he kills someone with his special, it's still bugged, I believe, and he doesn't do a full heal. This next wave has dropped, and basically what we want to do here is a couple things. We want to ability block Emma, and that's basically just to stop her from removing any of the debuffs. And then we want to make sure that Madeline Pryor doesn't do any of her moves, basically. And the reasoning behind that is she hits quite hard. So you notice I saved Magneto's special, and Emma is now ability blocked for 3 turns, which is just insane. So we don't have to worry about Emma. Gonna go back, I got rid of Madeline Pryor, and now, it's kind of easy mode. I could actually probably like auto basic here and really not run into any issues. I'm going to kind of start saving the longer cooldowns for the next fight. And typically this fight does go a lot faster. I'm kind of on like autopilot now with a lot of these nodes, and you could actually probably honestly sim them. I haven't tried it too much. But from what I've been seeing, they are, able to sim. So there we go, first node down, easy breezy, everyone is full health, cooldowns are there, our clone didn't die, and yeah. So going into the second node is, I think, actually probably the easiest. Kill order is really not as important, believe it or not, but there is kind of a cool little mechanic that I've been enjoying personally, and on the second node, I want to make sure that Dark Beast has his clone ability up pretty early, and the reasoning behind that is I'm actually going to clone the enemy Deathpool. So what's going to happen is we're going to get double pings, so whenever an enemy dies, not only is Archangel going to do his little ping damage, but Deathpool does as well. And then on top of that, you're also going to be getting some of that bonus energy. So you'll see there, I led with the Magneto Ultimate. If you T4 his passive, he is going to have that ability energy pretty much always available on turn 1. And again, very similar to the last node, we are going to start with the ultimate, and that is to strip the taunt off of Drax, and now we can kind of do our thing. So you'll see here, I've got the clone thing ready. We're going to clone Deathpool, and it's just going to be crazy. Like, the enemies are just going to start kind of like melting away. So we'll go in. I like to start with the ultimate, and basically just kind of get those traumas out there again. Again, characters like Deathpool, you don't want her removing any of her debuffs, but really, it's honestly not going to matter. She's going to go down pretty quickly once I start targeting her. I go after Agatha, not really for any particular reason. That's who I'm going after. I'm going to use my Deathpool now to basically spread all of those negative effects. And let's see, I'm going to save the ability block for a little bit. We'll just extend everything with Magneto. And you'll see here, like, basically she's blinded for eternity, essentially. Like 4 turns, she's not attacking anyone, and with the trauma, she's not going to be able to strip anything. But too late, she's already dead. And now you're going to kind of start seeing the pings. So Archangel pinged, Deathpool pinged twice. So you really just start seeing this crazy amount of damage, and this node in particular used to be so hard. This was actually probably the hardest mutant node, and now honestly it's like the easiest. So you're getting bonus energy from Archangel, you're getting bonus energy from Deathpool over here, so kind of while you have these characters, you can kind of go crazy with your abilities. And I'm going to target the enemy Ghost Rider here first. Basically just because I don't want him pinging, and you saw there, Archangel just obliterated him with the special. We'll go in with a basic here, not really any rhyme or reason. And we are going to go ahead and use the ultimate again, because we're going to have an available combination of all of these deaths, and just the way his passive works. I'm going to go in, let's ability block, Cloak over here we missed, which is okay. He's still going to die pretty quickly. So again, not as concerned with cooldowns when I have this many enemies up. When I start getting, probably when I kill one more, I'll be a little bit more conservative. But the energy, especially with the clone Deathpool, you literally have energy for days. So let's see, we killed 3 there, and then from pings, we're going to kill another one. And boom. Ping, ping. So, I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I don't know if people have really talked about cloning the Deathpool, but it really makes this node, stupid easy. And you just have such an abundance of energy when this team doesn't have long cooldowns to begin with. And that was the second node. Super easy. Again, no problems, really. And we will go into the last node. And again, the last node is pretty simple. Again, you do have to kind of watch out for the Emma and the Madeline Pryor, and it's kind of very similar to what we did to the first node. We basically blind Madeline Pryor, and we make sure that Emma is ability blocked. So I am short energy. I will be right back in 1 minute and 27 seconds. See you in just a bit. And we're back, y'all. I got the last little bit of my energy, so let's hop into this last node real quick. Again, pretty simple. Like I said, I'd say the only times I've had any issues with this node is when I haven't followed that initial kill order. And again, that's making sure Emma is ability blocked, and Madeline Pryor is either blinded or just taken out in general. So we'll go in, we'll load in. So the blind part is pretty easy, so I'm going to make sure that I have Madeline Pryor targeted, and the reasoning behind that is because Dark Beast assists, and then Magneto hits her for the second tap, so basically we have that ability block now for 2 turns. Now, a little unfortunate, Dark Beast did get ability blocked. I actually haven't had that happen before, so let's see, we might actually be able to take out Emma before it's an issue. Let's see, though. Worst case, we should actually have the traumas kind of up and running with Nemesis, so it shouldn't be a problem, but we're just deviating just a little bit. So I actually don't have the trauma available, so that was a misplay on the last node. I actually figured pretty much everything would have, been back by now with all the energy I was getting, but it still shouldn't be a problem. It is a little rocky with those initial couple hits, but like I said, once you can kind of get through essentially the first round of attacks, you're pretty much golden, and that was the problem when you were doing this node prior to DeathSeed, is basically surviving this initial round of onslaught. So again, we still want to get rid of Madeline Pryor. This should knock her out over here. And there we go. And now from here, I like to actually start targeting Cersei over here. So we'll get an ability block, and that will go 2 turns. And with that, I kind of just, kind of some bad RNG with Dark Beast being ability blocked. Normally, I can kind of get the ability block off, and then it's not an issue. We got some heals going, though, so that kind of tops everyone back off. We do have those traumas going. Clone-wise, let's see, do we have anyone worth cloning? I guess we'll clone Cersei over here. She's not a bad standalone character. And sometimes, depending on how I am energy-wise on this match, sometimes you actually get enough energy to be able to clone twice. It just kind of depends on where that bonus energy from Archangel is going. So right now I'm actually targeting Negasonic, and that's just kind of for her debuff value. I'm just going to kind of get rid of her real quick. There we go, she is gone. And now we are going to start going after Silver Surfer, and basically the idea behind that is we just don't want him really starting to speed up, and he's already taken a turn, so he's going to kind of start getting to that faster point. He's pretty worked down though, so I'm going to switch over to the other Negasonics. There are two of them over here. And again, that's kind of also a mechanic of, I don't know if they fixed Nemesis' special, where I don't know if it heals if he actually lands a kill. So that's kind of why I did that. I'm going to get an ability block over here on Icarus and kind of basically neuter Icarus. And let's see if this ultimate will take him out. Not quite, almost. Pretty close to it though. We're now stuck behind Miss Marvel's taunt over here, and let's see, get rid of her. And then basically the last wave should be dropping in just a minute or two, which is going to have Morgan Le Fay, and there she is. So I'll basically kind of get her stun locked, and then she will no longer become a problem. Sometimes around this time is actually when you get the second bit of energy and you are able to clone again. And if you do get the ability to clone again, obviously Morgan Le Fay is the best candidate with the characters that are currently on the field. But it just kind of depends on what's out there. So we'll get rid of this Miss Marvel and get rid of our last taunt. And we honestly probably could slap it on auto here, but we'll clone Morgan Le Fay. So we actually have two clones on the field. So we have a Cersei and a Morgan Le Fay, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so we'll take out Morgan Le Fay real quick, and that'll pretty much wrap up this node. We've got the ultimate available again, so we are obviously not saving cooldowns anymore, because there's no more mutant nodes after this. And yeah, so that's kind of the mutant nodes. Let's see if I can do this before I time out. And normally I don't run into an issue of like getting anywhere near timing out. You'll see there just from pings, we're gonna take them out. So there you go. Normally I don't run into any issues of like getting even remotely close to timing out, but explaining things and doing things sometimes a little bit slower obviously takes a little bit more time. But that was a quick walkthrough of the mutant nodes. So hopefully you have found this helpful. I'm starting to kind of work on the DeathSeed team on my other two alts, so Vermithor and Balerion. Once those are kind of built up, I'm kind of starting them at level 85. I'll get back to y'all and see if the team is as viable at 85 as it is as 90. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe. As always, I want to thank you so much for watching. Hope you're having a good week, and take it easy.